Hi, I'm Christina. I'm going to be teaching a couple of grammar lessons from Woe is I today. So let's get started. So the first lesson that I kind of want to teach today is than versus then. While this kind of seems sometimes like a no-brainer to some people, I know there's also a lot of people that struggle with it. I know sometimes I can forget the difference between than and then. So basically, both words are mainly only similar in the way that they sound. And I think that's why a lot of people get it confused. So in Woe is I, it says to use than when comparing or contrasting something. So an example is Adam was smaller than a mouse. So there you're kind of comparing Adam to a mouse. And then for then, you use then if one thing follows or results from another. So it's basically like a sequence of events. So an example is I walked the dog, then took a nap. So there's a sequence of events. You walked the dog and then you ended up taking a nap. So you use then in that context. So just remember then is for comparing and then is for sequence. And if you kind of use that, then you should be okay. So then kind of the next aspect that I wanted to go into is than, so THAN instead of THEN when it meets a pronoun. So what comes after than when it appears before a pronoun? So kind of all of the above is the answer. Anything can come after any pronoun. So I, me, she, her, he, him, they, them, etc. They can all come after than. Um, so either one may be correct. It also kind of depends though on the meaning of the sentence. So an example that I kind of came up with is Amy loves pizza more than I. And then there's Amy loves pizza more than me. So both are acceptable when you use than. You can use than with I following, and then you can use than with me following. They just kind of have two different contexts of meanings. So the first one, Amy basically loves pizza more than I or that individual. Whereas the second one, the meaning is Amy loves pizza more than me, meaning that she loves pizza more than this individual. It's a little bit confusing, but after reading it through it, like it kind of makes sense and just like making sure you know the difference between the meanings. So the next kind of grammar lesson I wanted to tackle is I kind of just titled it They and Company. But basically, if you go to this slide, it's there, and there. This, I feel like a lot of people still really struggle with kind of finding the difference between each of their. Sometimes I get this confused, but I think that the book really offered a great lesson on it. And I just think it's something that's kind of important to go over again. So you use there, so THEY apostrophe RE. It's basically shorthand for they are. So that's when you use it. Whereas, so like an example of this would be, I guess they're not as tame as they look. So I guess they're not as tame as they look. Again, saying, I guess they are. So you put that apostrophe in there. The next one, their and theirs. So they're the possessive forms for they. So an example of this is their families were all smiles after they had won the big game, meaning their families, possessive, that individual or entity's families. And then the final form of their is THERE, which is, it kind of means in or at that place as opposed to here. So, for example, I had a great time in Italy. I'd like to go back there someday, meaning there, Italy, that location, as opposed to here. Woe is I really offers a good way to look at this. It mentions a limerick, which is the best way to kind of remember the differences between all three of there. It's called The Dinner Guests, and it says, they seem to have taken on airs. They're ever so rude with their stares. They get there quite late. There's a hand in your plate, and they're eating what's not even theirs. So if you kind of just like read through that limerick and look at it again in your book, it's on page 13, but it kind of helps break down all of the theirs and kind of helps you remember that like their meanings and which one that they go to. But that is it for my grammar lesson. So hopefully you guys kind of learned a bit more, but thanks.